let's give us a bit of an example and put some money on the table. So I'm a buyer and I'm coming with you and I would like to buy a property that I saw. Let's just say, let's call it 1 million euros.
Yes.
What are the steps? What can I do? Let's say I'm 40 years old, I'm self-employed, I'm coming from the USA and I want to buy a property for 1 million euros. Walk me through it.
Well, basically, we would lead the link of that property and we will start the mortgage process. No cost at all. You just submit the paperwork. So the tax returns on the last 3 years, the last 6 months of pay slips or dividends, the repayment. You need a letter from the company understanding that you will be working regularly and continuously on that's the expectation. And with that information in place, we will then submit. We will have the mortgage approved commercially in a couple of days, and then we go to the risk department. Sometimes it takes longer. So it depends on the income structure. Obviously, if it's salary, it's faster. And again, a million is a good bracket, but it actually changes at 1.3. And then again,
say 2 million. For example, if we put 2 million euros on the table,
2 million will probably take 2 to 3 weeks on a decision level from the bank because it has different levels of decision making. So you need, for 3 million in Portugal is already a high mortgage. So you need to go all the way up.
All the way up. So in that case, I would come to you. So the realtor would then bring you all the information on the property. You'd evaluate the property. Is there then an appraisal of the property?
Of course. I mean, while we do this, either you just like that bank and you want to bank with them and you're happy, you want to proceed, and then you release the valuation from the bank. If that's not the case, then you can always, if you want to decide between banks or just like we'd like to do, is we have 2-3 options already approved that we want to continue. Yes, in different banks, so that we have the law of competition working and just better the terms. And in that situation, because you want to secure the house in the same place, what we suggest is that you hire an independent valuator. It is a valuator that works for the banks, and you just hire them to come and do the valuation. It's less expensive because doesn't have the bank commissions, and you will have
security on the house.
Exactly. You know how much the bank will be evaluating that property. As you know, some of the properties that we handle sometimes, they have additional settings that are very useful for a specific client, but will not be appreciated by the bank. So sometimes we just have to have that into consideration.
And that's where we come in as brokers as well, and we can manage to provide market studies and really show that the appraisal company how much the property is worth and explain to them why it's worth. Sometimes it comes in a little bit under, and in that case we need to resubmit it and do it again. And sometimes it's great surprises and it comes in over.
Exactly.
It's good to have that done before you buy the property.
Oh, not only that, and I need to congratulate you on that, because we've done this several times that we had to negotiate a valuation, and it came through higher than in the beginning because they just didn't pay attention to the details, which you do. Congratulations.
It's teamwork between a mortgage broker and a real estate broker, and that's how we manage to really help our clients in the whole one-stop service and doing that together. And that brings us a little bit to a case study. Did you ever have any very complicated situation that you managed? Well, I know you did, that you managed to get through, and tell us a little bit about how you did that.
I think one of the ones that I feel most proud of was the one that we need to take back to the valuator 3 times because he was just being stubborn onto not valuating the property. So this was very demanding. Obviously, also a friend of mine that we have in common, that he came with the smartest investment, which is to buy a house that requires severe renovation and hopefully an increase on the size of the property. So it just increased the valuation of the property dramatically. So very interesting in terms of investment. And in the same time, his paperwork was not showing every evidence of his income, because as you probably know, you probably heard about non-habitual residency. So the possibility of distributing dividends to your personal capacity on a very efficient structure. So some of our clients, on the last 2 years, they are not showing that income because they expect to do all of that when they land as residents in Portugal. So sometimes we struggle and it takes us a little bit longer, an extra effort, but as long as the client is solid, we always have managed to come around.
Solution.
Yes.
Find out information on non-habitual residency, NHR, on one of my other videos if you do subscribe to the channel.